Computer-Generated Chess Problem 2732 by the computationally creative computer program Chesthetica. White has a queen, rook, and knight. Black has a rook, pair of knights, and a pawn. So white basically has a queen for black's knight and pawn. Now it looks like the knight on g8 is free material. What happens if white does that, captures that knight with the queen? Well, rook to c2 check, king to d1, maybe rook to c6, queen to g7 check, king to d8, queen captures the other knight, king to c7, rook to a3, maybe rook to b6. Black is losing here, rook to a7 check, rook to b7 intervening, queen to d6 check, king to d8, rook to a8 check. White will soon put black out of his misery, rook to b8, rook captures rook with mate. On the ninth move, is there a faster way? Well, yeah, queen to g7 check. Forget about capturing the knight. Now if king to d8, queen captures knight on the f-file with checkmate. If king to e8, either knight to d6 or knight to f6 will work. The knight on g8 cannot capture the knight because this is a double check, and that means the king must move. So king to d8, and then here not only will queen captures knight on the f-file mate, but rook to e8 also mates. Notice how the rook on c7 blocks the king's flight square. So after queen to g7, black can last the longest by moving to e6. And here the knight comes in, but moves to c3 with a discovered check. The king moves to d6, queen to e5 check, king to c6, queen to b5 check, king to d6 pushed back, and queen to d5 mates. Notice how the rook on c7 again blocks the king's flight square. That's made in 5 moves, so you can congratulate yourself if you found that one instead. But you still don't win the prize, I'm afraid, because there's an even better and faster, and I would say more aesthetically pleasing way of winning than the 2 variations we just saw. And I'll let the engines prove it. White does the unthinkable in this position. Queen to e8 check. Now notice how black is not only being offered a free queen, but he has no choice but to capture it. There just are no other legal moves. The knight guards d6 and also f6, and the queen x-ray guards e6. So king captures queen is the only move. And now knight to d6 double check. A double check can be very powerful. Notice how the knight also guards the f7 flight square. King to d8 and rook to e8 mates. And in this final position, white actually has less material than black. A clean and full queen sacrifice for the fastest mate. Do you think you would have seen that from this original position? If so, you're probably a better player than you think. Until next time.
Chesthetica's Book of Chess Constructs, Volumes 1 through 5. Available on Amazon.